What's up YouTube? Happy New Year. This is the first video that I'm doing this year, so with that, even though it's almost the end of January already, Happy New Year. Today we're gonna do a gear review of a sleeping bag, but not just any sleeping bag, the Frontcountry Bed sleeping bag by Sierra Designs. All right, first off, I'd like to point out something that the name kind of gives away, but I would not recommend this as a backpacking sleeping bag. It's the Frontcountry Bed, not the Backcountry Bed. If you look here at the size and specs that I have on screen, the dimensions are just a little big. It's a little heavy. It's almost 4.5 pounds. It's synthetic, not down. The cut of it, which we'll get to, there's a lot more fabric than a typical mummy backpacking sleeping bag. And ultimately, that's just not what they intended for. As far as the size and even the sack. If this is the sack that it comes in, it's the storage sack, and it doesn't come with compression straps. It's not a compression bag. So if you do need to compress it, you'll have to get your own compression bag. But that's not what they intended it for. They meant for it to be front country. They meant for car camping and road trips. And in my case, it's my go-to bag for living room floors now. So a very comfortable bag, but their primary goal was not weight and size, and so I wouldn't recommend it for backpacking. There is a single opening around the center of the bag with a middle sheet that is sewn down around the waist area, and this allows total customization of heat regulation to either throw back as little or as much of the sheet as you want, just like you would in your home bed, or you can tuck it in around you really tight. One feature that they added to the middle sheet is on the inside corners, there's these little hand pockets, which could just be hand warmers if you sleep with your arms on the outside of the bag, but it's really handy for if you put your hands in the pockets and wrap the middle sheet around you for really getting cozy at night. One feature I noticed that I kind of wish there was, being a thin guy that only takes up like a third of this, I kind of wish that there was some sort of way to cinch up this middle opening just a little bit, because when you're in it, there's really no way to bring the whole sleeping bag in around you more, just that middle sheet. And so I kind of wish there was some sort of way to cinch that up just for a little extra warmth and extra layer on top. But there's not, and it's not a big deal because if you're using it in warm summer environments and stuff, it's just really not that necessary. If you find that you're going to be cold, bring an extra blanket, throw on top. The bottom of the sleeping bag has two features I want to point out as well. The first feature is this self-sealing foot box. So just another idea for temperature regulation. You can stick your feet out if you're too hot, or bring them back in, and when you bring them in, because of the overlapping fabrics, it kind of self-seals itself on the bottom of the bag. You don't have to worry about reaching down and unzipping and zipping the foot box like you would in a normal sleeping bag. So also a really neat feature. The second feature is one that goes from almost the shoulder area almost all the way down to the foot box, and it's this fabric container for your sleeping pad. So this way you don't have to worry about sliding on and off and all around your sleeping pad. You just slide it in there and call it good for the night. That way the bag always stays with the sleeping bag and also doesn't get twisted in the middle of the night as you toss and turn. It does accommodate multiple sizes. Your average camping sleeping pad is going to fit in here, but if you need bigger, like you might for car camping, you can undo these little button toggles and it'll expand to fit most larger, I believe up to 6 inches. Kind of just depends on the width and stuff as well, but to fit larger air mats in there in the bottom. Overall, it is a great bag, and by far its best feature is that it is super comfortable to be in. This is my new go-to bag for summer camping and living room floors, and I have multiple sleeping bags, so that's saying something. Very comfortable bag, definitely recommend it. Definitely recommend in general that you go check out Sierra Designs, because I love their stuff. I've always been a big fan. Even their 4-season tent I did a review on, I'll link to, and you can see that, but they just tend to think outside of the box with things, and I love that about this brand. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If so, give it a thumbs up. If there was something I missed or you still have a question on it, please comment below. I love answering those for people, and we'll do so as quickly as possible. I think that's a big aspect of the YouTube community, and having a channel is to be a resource for you, so please feel free to ask that below. Consider subscribing if you enjoy this kind of stuff, and if you don't, consider subscribing anyway. And that's it for now, and I'll see you next time.